Into the Lifeboat from a Titanic Survivor, Part 2, paragraphs 18 to 30.
My arm was suddenly jerked, and I turned to see young Mason, who had been busy filling a boat. His face looked weary and tired, but he gave a bright smile as he ordered my group into the boat, calling out, "Good luck," as we stepped in, helped by his willing, guiding hand. I nearly fell over the tackle and oars as I tried to assist Anne in beside me. She was suffering with her feet, I could see, and found her life belt got in the way of moving freely. Before I could do anything, young Mason hailed me and held up something, calling as he prepared to throw it, "Look after this, will you?" And I reached out to receive somebody's forgotten baby in my arms. It started to whimper as I pressed it to me, the hard cork surface of the life belt being anything but a comfort, poor mite. The boat was full now, full of people with dull, inquiring faces. I spoke to one woman, but she shook her head, not understanding a word I said. Groaning, the boat descended a fearful distance into that inky blackness beneath, intensified as the lights fell on it occasionally. Surely it is all a dream, I thought, as I looked up the side of the ship, beautifully illuminated, each deck alive with lights. The dynamos were on the top deck. I tried to make myself believe it could not be true, all this. I even noticed a few people leaning over the rail, watching in an unconcerned manner. Perhaps they too were persuading themselves it was a bad dream. We touched the water with a terrific thud, a bone-cracking thud, which started the baby crying in earnest. Somebody in the forepart ordered oars out, and we slowly pulled away from the side of the ship. I noticed one of the few men in the boat rowing. He was a fireman who had evidently just come up from the stokehold, his face still black with coal dust and eyes red-rimmed, wearing only a thin singlet to protect him from the icy cold. Fascinated, my eyes never left the ship, as if by looking I could keep her afloat. I reflected that but 4 days ago I had wished to see her from afar, to be able to admire her underway. Now, there she was, my Titanic, magnificent queen of the ocean, a perfection of man's handiwork, her splendid lines outlined against the night, every light twinkling. I started unconsciously to count the decks by the rows of lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I stopped. Surely I had miscounted. I went over them again more carefully, hushing the whimpering baby meanwhile. No, I had made no mistake. There were only 5 decks now. Then I started all over again. Only 4 now. She was getting lower in the water. I could not any longer deny it. As if all could read my mind, the women in the boat started to weep, some silently, some unrestrainedly. I closed my eyes and prayed for one and all, but dared not think of anyone in particular. I dared not visualize those people I had just left, warm and alive as I was. I tried to busy myself with the baby, but could not refrain from looking up again. Only 3 decks now, and still not a list to one side or the other. Desperately, I turned to where that other ship's light shone on the horizon. Surely they should be getting nearer by now. It was such a long, long time since we had first seen their comforting glow. They should be with us by now, taking off those patient waiting people over there. But no, she did not seem nearer. In fact, she seemed further away. Strange. A tiny breeze, the first we had felt on this calm night, blew an icy blast across my face. It felt like a knife in its penetrating coldness. I sat paralyzed with cold and misery as I watched Titanic give a lurch forward. One of the huge funnels toppled off like a cardboard model, falling into the sea with a fearful roar. A few cries came to us across the water, then silence, as the ship seemed to right herself like a hurt animal with a broken back. She settled for a few minutes, but one more deck of lighted ports disappeared. Then she went down by the head with a thundering roar of underwater explosions, our proud ship, our beautiful Titanic, gone to her doom. One awful moment of empty, misty blackness enveloped us in its loneliness. Then an unforgettable, agonizing cry went up from 1,500 despairing throats, a long wail, and then silence, and our tiny craft tossing about at the mercy of the ice field.